Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you here Thursday, the 29th of May, winding down. Next time I see these two gentlemen will be next month, a whole month from now. So, it'll be June 2nd.
You're going on vacation? Time. Oh, goodness. That's another.
I'm not going on vacation. It's a weekend, and it's the end of May. It's a new month. I love saying that, like the old, I'll see you next year. See you next year. Oh, that's right.
31st. Yes.
I love that. That's the good dad jokes.
Do you know that a pun is the lowest form of humor?
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Who said that?
I did just now. You didn't hear me?
All right, listen. We're gonna get the 3 baseball free picks for you here on Thursday. There's 4 games and 3 of them are going to nighttime, so it worked out well for us. And what short of a doubleheader? What do they do in baseball? No day games on a Thursday.
There's a day game, nothing scheduled.
Yeah, but the rain out,
right?
The makeup.
Yeah,
it wouldn't even been here.
4 games. Come on, it's fine. Not a problem.
They got it. Baseball's got to do better. We need.
Got to be a winner somewhere.
We're going to get the 3 of them. Listen, you got your work cut out. We went 2-0 with a rain out yesterday, so we have to do at least a 3-0 here yesterday because to do better than the 2-0 day yesterday. Oh. But again, before we get to that, here we go. Thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up button. You're here. Thumb it up, or maybe you want to thumb it down. Maybe you didn't like my puns. Maybe you say this guy is his jokes. We're gonna thumb. Or you know what? Definitely later, Yankee fans, you're gonna thumb it down because I'm gonna say some crazy stuff. We're gonna be talking about the Yanks briefly. Again, these are the free picks, folks. All right, free picks here. Major League Baseball 2-0 yesterday. Still, we got our work cut out for us on the free picks. Our best bets, our top plays are at gamblersworld.net. That's where you want to go for whatever. NBA, hockey, Major League Baseball, WNBA, UVHS, football, whatever it's called, UVL, UFL.
UFL.
And
CFL starts next week.
And CFL. All posted, all premium action. We're not going to do a free pick video on CFL or WNBA, but we have cappers who win those games. So go to gamblersworld.net and be part of it. There you go. Me, Doug, Chip, a baker's dozen of handicappers at Gamblers World. $69.99 for an all-day pass, which is great when there's multiple packages up. As always, 3 730 packages are guaranteed. We show you a profit or we correct you back. And teaser time. Tune in tomorrow. We got something real special. You guys tune in tomorrow for what that is for a super deal coming along the lines here for you. You're going to love that one. It's a very wild. All of our deals are pretty wallet friendly. That one is going to be nearly a giveaway, so you don't want to miss out on that one. But I'll be here tomorrow and probably in an email over the weekend for you. But tune in for the love. You're not doing anything on Friday. You're going to watch the show. That's why you get the notification bells on, gentlemen. We're gonna go jump right into. I'm going to jump right into Chip here because I know we're going to talk about something else with Doug. And then we'll close out always with our this day in sports. But Chip, the Natties and Seattle. I'm not gonna say much here. I got a lone play posted on this today, Major League Baseball. As much as I love MLB, there's just one game up for MLB today, and this one is it for me. Hancock and Gore, a 9-0 win yesterday for Seattle. 9-0.
Didn't Washington win 9-0 yesterday?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 9-0 win for Nationals.
Oh, it's in Seattle.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant in Seattle. Yes, it was 9-0 Washington beating Seattle. Wowzers. Well, this is why Seattle, I believe the second worst hitting team at home. Hancock laying 120 here. Chip, total 7.5. It's all you, my friend.
Well, this game, by the way, the side on this game is my mega buck play in Major League Baseball, which we've done so well with. We're at 67%. I mean, it's a small sample. The season's only a month and a half old, but we're still, when we single out that top play, it seems to be able to hit. So Mackenzie Gore has been outstanding for Washington. Although he's 2-5, there's some incredible numbers behind him. He's given up very few walks, and he has a high ratio of strikeouts. But the problem is that he's given up 8 home runs. Now, Emerson Hancock has got an ERA close to 6 for Seattle, and in 39 innings, he's given up 53 hits, 8 home runs in 39 innings. I think this game is supposed to go over the total because of the long ball. These teams do hit when these pitchers are on the mound. Seattle, remember, has Raleigh, who is one of the leading home run hitters in all of baseball. I think he's got 18 right now or 17. So I can see this game going over the total, but I have the side locked up right now on the site. It is my megabuck release in Major League Baseball. Washington, Seattle, I think it goes over the total.
Over 7.5 from Chip as his free pick here. And you heard him. Megabuck play up at gamblersworld.net. Go get it. Go get it from Chip right now.
Please.
Excuse me, from Doug, I mean. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to go, Chip, who do you like? See, now I'm totally confused here. Doug, who do you like in Chip's game here? Nats in the Mariners.
Are we doing this on reel to reel? Can we hit the rewind button on this?
Oh, my goodness.
No, see, Seattle, they're 6 games better than Washington. Okay, in the standings, overall standings. But Nationals, no prize on the road, 12-16. Mariners, though, 14-12 at home. Okay, that's not very good. Chip mentioned Mackenzie Gore, and just the big improvement for him has been reducing the walks, because his strikeouts are astronomical. 93 in just over 62 innings. I mean, that is just absolutely fantastic. Emerson Hancock, not much here to say. I'm going to look at the first 5 innings for this one. I'm going to take the Washington with Gore here, because I want to avoid the number 29 bullpen in baseball, which is Washington. So give me Gore on the first 5 with Washington on this particular contest.
You mentioned the Gore strikeouts there. The kid, remember, he was a top prospect for the Padres, came over in one of the big trades there for, was it Trey Turner or Scherzer or one of those kind of Tatis? I don't even know who he came over for. Maybe it was
actually, it was
Soto.
Soto. It was
a Soto deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
they made so many deals over there, the Nats, getting these young cats in there. But first 5 for Doug here with Gore. But again, official show pick from Chip, who's on a nice little run here in Major League Baseball. He likes the over 7.5 runs. Again, get his Megabucks play right now at gamblersworld.net. On to Doug here. Now, Doug, before we jump into our game here, you wanted to make a little statement on Judge. Now, I saw this line already up for tomorrow, since we're going to talk about the Yanks. I think they're 108 minus 105 versus Gosselin, Fried, and Gosselin tomorrow. I'm gonna be taking the Yanks. You're gonna give me Fried at that price. I'll definitely jump on board. But that being said, let's go Aaron Judge, aka Shane Spencer / Kevin Moss on steroids. That's it. That's all he is. The guy Shane Spencer, just over a couple years, a little better. If Shane Spencer got a shot, he'd be Aaron Judge. How about that, Yankee fans? Go ahead. Go at it in the comments.
No problem on that one. No, as I said just before the show here, before we started, everybody, I'm curious as to what anybody else thinks about this. I'm not a big StatCast guy. I mean, most of the stuff to me is kind of, just I don't know what it offers. Okay, but every now and again, there are some things that are of interest, and obviously, here's Aaron Judge hitting, right now close to 400. Has been over 400 for a considerable amount of time this season. And so they had something that I thought was interesting. And not to say this wasn't true before, but there's just seemingly another element to it. So right now, center fielders, okay, that play the Yankees, when Judge comes up to bat, they play 10 feet deeper than any other player, okay, on average in Major League Baseball. Left fielders play 12 feet deeper, okay, than anybody else. So I mean, so that what does that actually mean? Well, what it does, it opens up the field more. So if Judge is hitting the ball so well, but he also has more room now than almost any other player in baseball, and he's taking advantage of it. The other thing that struck me equally as much as that is that his infield hits, he had, I forget what I want to say the number is 14 or 15. He has 14 or 15 balls, infield hits that were 105 miles an hour or more.
Wow.
Okay. And so with that is more than the combination of the number 2, 3, and 5 hitters in that category. So how hard he's hit the ball this season, just across the board, just remarkable. Okay. And so again, that's baseball stuff. Okay. Not everybody's interested in that. And I'm like getting a lot of the StatCast stuff. I'm not either, but I just found those numbers, all of them, to be remarkable and really tells you a good story about how he's playing so well this year.
With them backing up, I'm sure it might take away maybe something that might have been off the wall for a double, perhaps, right? But if they're moving back that far, if the guy does have a little looper that could be playable, that's falling for a base hit.
Absolutely, in front or between any of the fielders, any ball. So yeah,
and there's just Doug, there's just so much room you can go back. The great center fielders always played as shallow as they could. They used to talk about players that did this, and it's sort of, if you're going to play deep and the ball's hit over the wall, there's really not too much you can do.
Exactly.
You can do more with a ball that's hit in front of you than anything that's going to the wall, I think.
Yeah.
But it's just an example of his power and how dominant he is at the plate, and how dominant he has been. He looks to me, I know Ohtani's great, but Judge has a balance and fundamental swing that just doesn't look like it's going to break down. And I just think overall he's got a slight edge over Ohtani.
Yes, but particularly this year, it seems, more so, than maybe
he's healthy. And this is my dilemma with him, because you're paying him 40, 45 million, whatever. He's got 3-4 full years, right? Like, I mean, he's just a big cat, and we've seen big guys. I mean, they got him on the team. They got his bunkie. I mean, Stanton's another big cat. They kind of break down, you're that big. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the concern with me as them giving him that huge contract, because you're just that big. You're getting older. I mean, the guy's 32. It's not like he's 20. I mean, he's came up at 28, 29.
He's getting better. But, Judge is a baseball player. I can't say that for Stanton.
Well, he was when he was.
I'm serious. I really am. Stanton.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. 100%. I mean, he's an athlete. Yeah. Stanton would have been a perfect guy to play in the late 90s.
90s, good DH.
It reminds me a little bit of say Mantle, where he's always hurt. He's got his muscles are so tight, and always pulling a muscle or something's going on. But they just have to wait for the postseason.
I'll be the first one to tell you, you don't pull fat. There you go. Somebody's sitting out with pulled fat today. They got pulled hammies.
Before I go I'm going to talk about Philadelphia and Atlanta. Before I go to that, this came up this week, and I found it fascinating. So the Cubs last week, they played Cincinnati, took 2 out of 3. Okay, the Cubs scored 28 runs in those 3 games, so they hit the ball like crazy. 21 of the 27 runs came from the 7th inning on. Okay, they just destroyed.
That's that Reds bullpen.
And so I was listening. So I happened to be listening to the Reds telecast on Sunday, and they looked it up. They had Cincinnati Reds box scores that they believed were accurate that went back to 1930. So Chip, I'm sorry, I'm kind of intruding on your area a little bit.
Go ahead, man. I love this.
But going back to 1930. And that's the most runs the Reds have ever given up in 3 consecutive games from the 7th inning on. Okay.
Oh, really?
So that was good. So then what happened? So the Cubs then come home, they play Colorado, and they score 8 total runs and sweep the series.
Listen, you knew the Reds were in trouble. I had them opening day. They had like a 4-1 lead against the Giants or something, and then they lose 5-4 in the 9th inning.
You mentioned the bullpens. I mean, yesterday the Red Sox blew their 14th save attempt. 14 already.
Yes, San Diego had a 6-1 lead. Then they also had an 8-7 lead, and they lost both of those.
Right.
Okay. And the night before, I had the Arizona Diamondbacks -1.5, 6-0 after 6, 6-2 after 7. Nope, not even close.
Lose outright.
Well, that's why we call it gambling. I mean, you never know what's going to end up happening.
Ultimately,
that's
you don't.
Baseball, Susan. As John Sterling would say.
All right,
Susan, that's baseball. You can't figure it out.
Oh, Sterling was the best. Sterling was great.
He was very good, for sure, on that. So, all right. So, my pick was a little bit thrown off today. And you guys, or Sean, somebody had the game yesterday, too. Philadelphia and Atlanta had a rain out. So we got a day game, okay? And then the pitching situation changed. So And I don't know about you guys, not crazy about, well, fortunately, it's at least it's a free play as opposed to a premium play. I don't like taking game twos of double headers, okay, unless I know the result of game one. Okay. And so that's one thing. So, and then when you got two really good teams in the same division, that makes it even a little more, squirrely, at least in my opinion. On the surface, though, can't do much better than Chris Sale and Zach Wheeler. Okay, right, in terms of a pitching matchup. Sale, much like his teammates, got off to a rocky start, but has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in his last 7 starts. Wheeler had a couple of blowouts himself. You like to play, speaking of play on words there, Sean, for you? Wheeler, blowout, okay? Just thought I'd throw that in there for you. Is
that a pun?
Of sorts. He's had 7 stellar starts in a row himself, and he's working on 22 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Atlanta lost 4 of their last 6, fell below 500. The Phillies, they're surging 10-1. Bravos, 9-19 on the road. Sale, since 2023 on the road in a division game with the teams he's played for, 0-8. Give me the Phillies.
Phillies for Doug, and I got a great, I like my whips and batting average against for pitchers, and Wheeler, 0.6, last 7 games, a 0.78 whip on the year here at his home starts, 0.68, a 170 batting average against a 169 ERA. I mean, you get it done. And again, the ERAs to me can be skewed a bit, right? I mean, you get shelled in one game, it jacks it up. It's like a guy's got 7 runs in 2 innings, it crushes an ERA.
Yeah.
No. When you flip is how many batters how they're hitting against him, how many he puts on base. Here, this guy's just gotten better. I mean, old Met hand, right? They came over Mets. They let him go. He's improved every year with the Phillies. Good, nice pick up there, Jim, for Philadelphia. Maybe a slight pitching edge today, and I'm with you. Double headers to me, I'm not really a fan of them. I'm either taking the dog in both games. It's tough to sweep. I don't care how good you are. It's tough to sweep double headers. I would lean dogs in both. Big dog in the first one here, but official pick from Doug is the Phillies minus 110. Chip, your thoughts on this one?
I didn't even look at the first game, to tell you the truth. When I look at this matchup, I mean, Chris Sale, he opened the season, I think he gave up 9 earned runs on one of his starts or something which really skewed his ERA. And Doug, you said his last 6 starts, he's just been outrageous. But Zach Wheeler's numbers, 6-1 on the year, I got to read this to you. 88 strikeouts in 70 innings, but only giving up 48 hits in 70 innings. That's really incredible. And he's 13-8 lifetime against Atlanta, but I don't want to play against Chris Sale. I think the play here, because we just talked about how bullpens are just exploding and imploding on all these clubs. I think you go under for the first 5 innings with Sale and Wheeler. And I made a big comeback win when Sale went up and pitched against the Red Sox in Boston, and that it wasn't a division game, Doug. And you were talking about how his division record on the road, how poor it is. But I watched him that game, and he just sat the Red Sox down easily. I think this game has to stay under. Wheeler's been unhittable. Chris Sale's been unhittable of late, anyway, and I think the game stays under. First 5 innings. Excuse me. I'm gonna pull a little Doug move here. I'm gonna go under 5 innings because who knows what goes on when these bullpens come in.
And the Phillies closer out, PED suspension, so he's gone. So they got some problems in the bullpen a little bit. I mean, they got to maybe not problems, but they have to address it, and someone's gonna step up. You don't know how that's gonna be. I see the old.
It won't be Matt Strom. I can guarantee you that. That's a given. It would. Literally the last 2 years, this guy has an ERA like under 3. Every time I see him pitch, his ERA is 11.
Maybe they'll pick up Marcus Stroman.
So, yeah.
Because he's not pitching.
Bullpen guy, yeah.
Phillies minus 110, official pick for Doug Upstone here. Again, Doug, 12-4 last 5 days. Get his perfect play here. He's got a Major League Baseball. Go get it, Gamblers World. As I mentioned, GamblersWorld.net for all of our best bets. Doug's locked and loaded here today, and Chip as well. Chip, it's a call 911 for Chip. The man is 14-3 the last 7 days.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I think that's good. I don't know. Call me crazy. That looks like
I needed it.
Not a bad run. Here we go. Speaking of runs, diapers for these squads here, the Astros and Tampa Bay. Maybe not diapers for the Astros, but how about some Band-Aids? Another pitcher goes down, right? Here comes Blanco goes out. Now you got Blanco, Arrieta, Garcia, Javier, and France. That's it. That's everybody except I think Hunter Brown and Framber, who they don't want to pay money to, is on the injured list. Like this team, oh man, just hamstrung by injuries the last couple years. Pitching, and this would be another side note to these kind of pitchers. You see these guys go down across the board. When are they going to adjust this pitch clock? I think that has something to do with it. These guys got to keep throwing so fast and just nonstop, and everybody's trying to throw the hardest they can for a short amount of times. They won't get rid of this thing until their boy Skeens gets hurt, I think. As soon as Skeens shows some kind of thing, they'll be like, oh, we got to reevaluate the pitch clock here. What is it? How come everybody's going down? I mean, I got a guy on the hill today, Shane Baz, 25. He's a Tommy John guy, right, already at 25. You know, his buddy Shane McClanahan, another Tommy John guy for the Rays.
Oh, McClanahan.
What is going on with these pitchers? Oh, it's okay. You need a Tommy John. Like no, you don't. No, it's not like, oh, yeah, you know what? Get married, then get divorced. You need to feel what it's like before you get married again. No. You don't need Tommy John surgery to be a good pitcher.
Married? Huh. Who's been married?
Here we go, Chip. Chip's got an arm. Chip's got a small village of illegitimate children running around Florida and Vegas.
No, not true. Not true.
Oh, my goodness. How do we get off on these subjects? What happens here? All I'm saying is that I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Anyway, let's just talk. I was trying to talk about the Houston Astros bad pitching and how they got to address this stuff. Mr. Gusto's on the hill, and he's a filling guy, and it's tough to look at his numbers based on just a couple starts and a lot of games out of the bullpen. What are we getting out of this cat today? 4 innings. Somehow they rolled an 11th spot up on the board for our guy Hunter Brown the other day. Other than that, this has been an under club. I thought so coming into the season with their lineup. Yordi's been banged up. You let Tucker walk. Altuve's on the slide on the other side of the mountain riding down. What else? Jeremy Pena has not been that good. They got some problems here, and then here comes the starting pitching. I thought it'd be solid. We have woes here. We have a bunch of – they're turning into the Dodgers, a bunch of 4-inning cats. I'm going to look at the under here because our guy, Mr. Baz, he's kind of rounding into form. A couple starts this year, he's been so-so, not great. Last year he had a couple games, he got hurt. But the talent is there, and just on a whole with both of these teams, we saw yesterday, it was my best bet, the Rays and the Brewers under total there. The Rays aren't hitting much, as are the Astros. Both teams on 2-7 or 2-7-1 or 3-7-1 type runs to the unders overall. Not hitting. The pitching, decent. You can throw a bunch of no-name guys. I can make fun of Mucho Gusto and Blanco and all these cats I throw out there. Fact of the matter is they are getting it done. The bullpens are solid. I'm going to go under the total here. I mean, 8. How are we getting 8 runs here? Name a guy. Chip, you name a guy on the Tampa Bay lineup? Who bats cleanup for Tampa Bay? I can't name a guy on
either team, I'll tell you. I'm a numbers guy.
Who's in cleanup? Junior Cameron?
Altuve plays.
Is Bregman still with them or not?
38.
But you have what you said about Shane Baz is his numbers aren't all that impressive. 4-3 with an ERA just under 5, but he has had some pretty decent games out there. The problem is Houston comes in winning 4 in a row and 6 of the last 7 at home. And Tampa had won like 6 in a row before they got beat. Then they bounced back with another win. They've won 7 of 8. It's a pretty tough game to call, I think, here. And particularly with, like you said, a fill-in pitcher for Houston. I lean toward Tampa here. I don't think it's a great play, but that's the way I lean. And probably on what you said about the under is the way to go.
Well, like you said, both teams on pretty good runs overall with their wins over the last 10, 12 games. And how do you win? You beat the team with pitching. These are not teams clubbing teams to death. They're not. That's how you're 3-7 to the under, and yet you've won 7-10 or whatever.
And you know, Sean, maybe all this injuries and the issues that Houston have is a little karma payback coming to them for deeds of the past.
Here we go. Here comes the garbage can crew.
Deeds of the past. What can I say? Because Red Sox should have been taken down too. Sorry.
I don't know much about the garbage can. The facts that who was grabbing a shirt saying no, he's going like this.
Altuve hit a home run.
That is definitely some shady stuff, no doubt, and I'm not some.
They know what's happening, and they didn't do anything about it though.
Listen, you're going to steal signs. I get stealing signs. If you're not trying to see if the guy's tipping his pitches, that's fine. But you're going to go into like radio control, like you're at a blackjack table with a box on your foot, and you're tapping like it's a casino, and the guys are going to come out with a cattle prod at you. That's wrong. No, you can't do that.
Or garbage cans, which is what
garbage cans.
It was said in 1951 when the Giants were 12 and a half games back in August against the Dodgers and came back and won the pennant in the playoff game. Bobby Thompson, shout heard around the world. But the Giants were supposedly had a man with binoculars 486 feet away in center field in the clubhouse because they had all these windows there. And that was supposedly what was going on around that time. And people were saying the Giants knew what pitches were coming. I think in baseball, it's a major advantage because these guys are so good. If you tell them what's coming, they're going to hit it.
If they're scoping things out in the 50s with telescopes like they're Galileo, hats off to them.
Yeah. Imagine that. I mean, I don't know if it really happened, but I know
they're like, oh, they ain't home, matey. Here comes the off-speed pitch.
I think it's a cut. I think he's gonna. I think the sign was a cutter.
Doug, what do you think about the total? Do you like a side in this one? What do you got?
Well, I do like a side, and that's my premium play on this one. I'm going to join you on this one. It's side with the under. Tampa Bay has conceded 8 runs in their last 6 games. Houston, not too shabby, just 2.5 a game in the same time span. Both bullpens are in the top 6 in run prevention. Rays come in 9-1 under on the road against a team that has a bullpen ERA of less than 3. Tampa Bay is also 13-2 under if they just posted a shutout like they did last night. And the Astros are 24-15 under at home against an American League team that's scoring less than 4.4 runs, under 8 for me.
There you go. And it's funny here. We'll give the free picks out. We got Phillies -110, over to 7.5 in Seattle, and under 8 here. And the games mentioned, they're all on the site. We have premium action on 2 to 3 of these games here, right? I don't know if anybody's on the Phillies and Braves, but Seattle and the Nats, Tampa and the Astros. If you want those, Doug's got you covered at gamblersworld.net. Go get his. I forgot what it was called. Perfect play, perfect situation. Mega buck play from Chip Up right now over at Gamblers World again on the games. Head to Gamblers World for our top plays for today, and me included. All right, so go get those. Now, it's what time it is here. We got to get our guys to work on a little kind of like a 10-second kind of music thing. We hit a little button, it comes in like, I don't know. We got to have some kind of music. All
right, David Bowie back is what I got to say.
I don't know. Let's see. Benny Goodman was back from the 20s, I think. So maybe that would be a good one to start with.
It's not breaking news. It's not dun, 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 dun.
No. That wouldn't be good. Something. 1908 is not breaking news.
Although
I think you would agree with me on that.
We might be able to get like a 5 or 7 second clip. We could get This Week in Baseball. We could kind of I think if you're under 10 seconds, you won't get a copyright infringement. If you just kind of hit it.
No, you would. You would on YouTube. Yes. In other areas that you would, but not on YouTube. Literally, if they recognize 2 notes, okay, it's a copyright infringement. I have gotten 3 different warnings in my time of posting YouTube videos, going to the games at where the Dodgers and White Sox play for spring training, because the music almost is nonstop. So it's just So there's nothing you can do. Yeah, no, it's absolutely true.
It shows you what a loser my YouTube channel is, because I have a 8-second clip of a song at the intro to my show every day, and I haven't been binged in 10 years.
No, I've been well. Obviously, you must be going with generic music because or maybe you have approved music. That's a possibility. There are certain things that are approved, but when they play true copyrighted music at games, nope.
Well, there's no lyrics. It's just a little 8-second intro of the song.
Yeah, but you might be I know there is approved list music that you can get. So I do know that.
Whatever. We're rebels here. Get on it, Seth. Let's go. We want This Week in Baseball. Anyway, go ahead, Doug. I'm sorry, Chip.
Yeah.
Me and Doug are reminiscing YouTube.
I kind of find it entertaining to hear you two. I mean,
Really?
I just don't know what you're talking about. All right, May 29th. Are you ready? We're going to go back over a century. 1916, the New York Giants won their 17th consecutive road game, which set a record at the time. Unfortunately for them, they finished in 4th place. The Brooklyn Robins, who later developed, of course, to be the Dodgers, won the pennant by 4 games. And unique thing is that the Giants had the home run leader at 12. His name was Dave Robinson. And George Burns played then. I don't know how they let him on the field without a cigar, but he scored 105 runs with 37 stolen bases. But guess what? He was thrown out 36 times.
Wow.
Right? So there's a guy 50%. And that was the Giants. And by the way, on the road for the year, they ended up under 500, 36 and 39 with that 17-game winning streak included. And 1922, now this one's a joke, and you guys should be aware of this. In 1922, the Supreme Court said that baseball is not a business. It is a sport, so it's not subject to antitrust laws. I remember this day in 1957, Robert Wagner was the mayor of New York, and he held a press conference to confirm that Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants were moving to California. And in 1965, this is not to do with any sport that we're dealing with, a guy by the name of Ralph Boston. I don't know if you remember him. He set the long jump record, and he beat the record by like 18 inches, and he beat his own record by close to 2 feet, and he did hold the world record for a while, and he jumped at 27 feet, 4 3/4 inches, and no one had even gone to 27 feet up until that time. So that was an amazing thing. I don't know if an alien had touched him, but when he lit, he went. And by the way, the long jump record for women is 24.1. So if there's going to be any trans stuff going on here, they're certainly at a disability. But do you know who held that record for long jump for females? Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
I was going to say Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
Yeah, and but there's Ralph Boston, by the way, did not participate in the Olympic trials at BYU because their racial prejudice that they were having in Utah. And Bob Beeman, who was a world record holder for the mile, also sat out in protest in support of Ralph Boston at that time. And I wasn't quite aware of that. Shibe Park, where what turned into Connie Mack Stadium in 1953. It had been Shibe Park since 1903, 50 years. Dick Allen, you remember Dick?
Mm-hmm.
Don't call me Richard Allen. Hit a 530-foot homer, measured at, and that's an incredible blast. And Dick Allen, by the way, Bobby Valentine told me he thought he was the most talented player he had played with. And the Eagles, by the way, played at Connie Mack Stadium for 5 years, from 53 to 58. And in 1976, a guy by the name of Joe Negro hit his first and only career home run after 22 years, and he happened to hit it off his brother Phil. So that's it for May 29th.
He grooved him. He grooved him a knuckler.
Yeah. How do you groove a knuckler? You don't know where it's going?
The Negro brothers pitched to their 45 and 47 for the Yankees in 1985. Talk about wasted Mattingly and Winfield and Ricky Henderson. Terrible.
And never had a sore arm.
And Joe got thrown out of baseball, or got out of a game, because he had the thing that
sandpaper.
Yeah.
Sandpaper, right?
Yep. It had it. Actually, yeah. It wasn't even that. I think it was like a nail file. You know, like
was it?
Yeah, a little bigger nail file. Yeah.
Well, see, I like that attempt better than stealing signs with an electronic device. I think that's a little more fun.
Or the scuffer Mike Scott, the scuff balls.
Balls.
Goodness, he was unhittable. He really
they
was.
show those balls. I mean, how can you not see that they're scratched up?
Well, another one was Don Sutton. He was another one that if any ball had a mark on it, he wanted it back.
Yeah, they said Whitey Ford that when Yogi Berra was catching, he'd take the ball and he'd scrape it against one of the buckles on his shin guards. And by the time he threw it to Whitey Ford, it already had like a mark or a cut on it for crying out loud.
Gaylord Perry was another one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, that was another one.
He loaded up with Vaseline, though, didn't he? Isn't that what he was?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then for a long time, and at the end of his career, it was just all bull crap, because he was just go through all the gyrations of like he was touching his face. He wasn't doing anything. It just was pretending to try and deceive hitters, because he couldn't get anybody out anymore because he couldn't throw hard. So,
well, as long as you're talking about Vaseline, I'm going to segue into. Doesn't know.
Hold on. What are you going to segue into?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You tell me how this segue fits.
Do we,
I wanna
you know,
understand.
because speaking of YouTube, they have different policies that you only can say certain things. So I'm just checking.
Here we go. So Chip doesn't know about YouTube from me and you, Doug, right? Because he's like, what do you old timers talk about? Us whippersnappers use OnlyFans for our videos. Oh man! All right, we're gonna get out of here. You people are probably like, these guys are insane. What's happening here? Who knows what's happening? We're trying to give you some free pick winners. The Phillies -110, over Seattle 7.5, under Houston 8. These are the free picks. 2-0 yesterday. We're gonna get the brooms out here on a Thursday, sweeping it board clean for you. If you want the best bets, though, our favorite plays today, they're at gamblersworld.net. Chip, Doug, and myself, all locked and loaded here in MLB tonight. And you've heard it. It's a couple of the games we're talking about right here. So we gave you a little bit of insight. But the best stuff for these games, actually in particular, it happens sometimes like this. Up right now, head to gamblersworld.net for those free pick. Those are not free pick winners. Those are pay-to-play winners. I was telling somebody, I said, listen, just because you free picks are free picks. And if, it doesn't lose, I'm not going to buy your premium pick. Well, if you go to Costco, would you pay $1.50 for the regular hot dog, or would you go eat the hot dog out of the garbage can? No, you're going to go pay $1.50 for a good hot dog, as opposed to the half-eaten one out of the garbage can out front. Yes or no?
Costco
Yes.
has hot dogs.
Who wants Costco? Who wants a garbage can Costco hot dog? I mean, they're $1.50 for a reason, folks. Just go pay the $1.50. Here's a little bit more than $1.50, but it's still worth your price of admission.
It's not bad. It's not. I've had far worse. You
open
up any Oscar Mayer thing, believe me. You can get their premium hot dogs, and they're not as good as what Costco's are. And believe me, I'm a hot dog connoisseur.
Ha
Put a little mustard on it.
How do you like Nathan's?
Nathan's is good. I do like Nathan's. Yes,
I'm a Sabrett guy. Sabrett guy that gets that nice snap on it.
Yeah, it does.
Gotta have that. At my advanced age, I just ran into something that I actually like too, that I didn't know I even liked. Pickles.
Please don't say pudding.
Pickles on hamburgers. Never
Really?
did and never cared. Yeah, just never. Just never came around. Just
Wow.
They got sliced pickles you can put right on it.
Oh yeah. I mean, now I'm
fabulous.
I like a month ago I got sold on them.
You do put ketchup on. You don't put ketchup on your hot dog, do you?
And I would. I learned. I went with a friend of mine years ago, and he literally slapped me. He slapped me in the face when I started to do it. He did. He went, just slapped me. Goes, you don't ever do that again. He goes, if you're going to be my friend, you don't ever do that again.
No ketchup.
I had mustard, and I've never had ketchup since.
They tried that in New York if you tried that.
What? Say that again?
I know they tried that out in New York City. If you.
Oh, right. Now that I know. Yes.
Mayonnaise on hot dogs, only way to go. Mayonnaise and sauerkraut.
Listen to this guy. Yeah, pickles and milk, right? Like watching Abbott and Costello.
We just lost 9 subscribers with that. There we go. We're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow, folks. Good luck, everybody. Gentlemen, have a good day.